Good day, everyone, and to our facilitator, Dr. Early M. Molo. This time, I'm going to present you my project proposal. And the title of my project proposal is a school library proposal. The first part of this project proposal is the rationale. The proposed library and information resource center at school will be established in order to attract students and the teaching staff to encourage them to read books and to inculcate a reading culture in them. Students are growing in an earlier age. The reading habits of students may be increased through a proper library setup at this institute. Currently, many students have been addicted to electronic media which have adversely affected their educational growth. This will highly affect the attitude of students in terms of social values, norms, and values in a society. Keeping in mind these bad habits of growing children, the students at this institution will be wasting of a generation and will face a critical situation in the following points, like no time to read, no habit of reading among them, non-availability of grade or specific books, and no proper guiding to students. Keeping forth aforementioned points, a well-furnished library may kindly be proposed to put them on the right track and to educate them civilized citizens under the principles of Islamic thoughts. The second part is the design. Library for students to have rich and stimulate their experiences. The school library should create a well-planned and well-organized learning environment and promoting information literacy. The term information literacy, or IL, sometimes referred to as information competency, is generally defined as the ability to access, evaluate, organize, and use information from a variety of sources. It is a basic human right to lifelong learning. There are two main reasons why students need to use information effectively. Firstly, it improves the quality of their learning. And secondly, it is an essential skill for them to take with them into their working lives. When designing the internal arrangement of the school library and resource center, special attention needs to be paid to the child friendliness of the premises. Books and other reading materials should be easily visible to all grade school students. Next slide is the learning outcomes. School libraries should keep in consideration to the following six areas of learning to be happened in students. First is a personal, social, and emotional development. Next is a communication, language, and literacy. Next is a mathematical development. Next is a knowledge and understanding of the world. And then, physical development. Lastly is a creative development. The fourth part of this proposal is why to establish a school library. First, it should be a safe place for students. Secondly, a place with proper light and ventilation. Third, a place where reading materials are placed for students in organized manner. Fourth, students should be able to reach library materials easily and the materials should be visible to them. Fifth, interior of the library should be colorful with posters, plants, and charts. Sixth, there should be a place for display of students' creative artwork, poems, and essays, etc. 7. It should be a place where facilities are available for students to participate in discussions, seminars, and etc. And 8. Reading rooms should be open to students all throughout the week. Library opening hours should be placed outside the library near the entrance. 9. It should be a place where almost all the school children to obtain library services. 10. a place where parents and teachers should provide resources and services and participate in the library activities. 11. It should be a place managed by a trained teacher librarian. 12. It should be a place where rights of the students are protected and promote the concept of child participation. 13. There should be a suggestion box in the library to get the suggestions and ideas how to improve the library and its services. 14. The services offered to students should be depicted in the mission statement of the school library. Next is the function of the school library. School library is open for all school students for 6 days a week. So meaning to say from Monday to Saturday. Next is arrangement are there for books checked out by school student. Next, entire school students population in the year 1 to 13 is registered as members of the library and entitled for borrowing of reading materials and take part in literacy activities of the library. Literacy activities are conducted with students using reading room resources with the involvement of teachers. Next, all reading materials are classified according to simple classification system, or we can say grouping of books. Next, mega literacy events will be organized in which library has to participate and involve all members of the library. And lastly, teachers of the school frequently use resources of the school library for their classroom teaching. Next part is the selection of resources. The key to success is selecting the right resources because teachers and students will find what they want and keep using the library. The library must find a balance between enriching and supporting the curriculum and meeting the recreational reading needs of students. It should aim to inspire and challenge students with new authors, genre, and areas of interest. The collection should accommodate the varied culture and abilities of students. Selection of resources need to be planned and should be based on first, school priorities. Secondly, is the available budget. Third, is the evaluation of the existing collection to identify areas requiring additional resources. Library staff should maintain a consideration file of topics, authors, and genres for inclusion. Next is the recognized selection criteria. Fifth, the school library's collection and development policy. Sixth is the replacement of lost or damaged item. And lastly is the suggestion from staff and students. For the school library objectives, number 1, by the end of December 2021, well-functioning school library will be available. Number 2, by the end of January 2022, primary students from grade 1 to 3 and intermediate from grade 4 to 6 will use classroom library resources for a designated period of time per week. Number 3, by the end of February 2022, at least one training program will be held to train to teachers attached to the school library in information literacy. So the outcomes, it is a short term or 1 year. 1. Students in primary grades and designated teachers will access the school library for a designated library period per week and during break times. Use the school library for a designated library period per day and during break times. Number 2 is to participate in school library activities for a designated period per week. Number 3, school library is able to increase the capacity of the library setup and manage reading promotion activities of primary grade students. And number 4, primary grade students begin to participate in library activities. And for the next part is the finance. Finance for library upgradation may kindly be included in the following. Number 1, library charges in admission time. Number 2, parents of students may be convinced. Number 3, National Book Foundation may requested to provide free copies. Number 4, NGOs and similar welfare organizations may be requested. Number 5, library fine for overdue books may be used as a source of finance. Number 6, teaching faculty and staff may contribute books and amount. And number 7, political figures may be contacted for library establishment and etc. And that's all of my project proposal. I hope that you can learn something. Thank you for listening. This is Junaline Abelio Santos, the presenter.